Good afternoon, family, and welcome back to another episode of GodSpeed, where we provide you a weekly market overview for the Lexus LC500. Fam, on this week's episode, we have the lowest mileage 2018 on the market, okay? Really excited about that. And we've got one of the very best 2021 combinations, period. I mean, you can see this beautiful stallion sitting in the middle. And then, family, we also have what could be a tremendous opportunity on a 2022, which is showing $8,000 below market. Okay. All right, family, let's get into tonight's episode. But before we do, I greatly appreciate your continued support. Please do subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Let's get into the market review for this week. Last one for both the month of March as well as the first quarter, right? So first up, we've got this beautiful 2018 Lexus LC500. Let's get into some of the pictures here before we start talking about deets, but I love this, right? Obviously, we got the infrared exterior, and man, this thing is showing absolutely gorgeous, right? The paint looks beautiful. We see some deep shine here. We also see, I think that's the Lexus. Yes, because look at the corners right there. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Lexus OEM carbon fiber spoiler right there. You know, we've talked about that in the past, but you know, that's easily, $1,000 to $1,500 when you think about the part and installation on that guy, right? And you get that gorgeous, OEM like, only Lexus can do, right? It looks like the tires look really good on here as well. And some of that's going to be because, of course, the mileage once we get to that, right? Now, we do got this toasted caramel interior. Family, if you guys take a quick look, I want to step back, right? Because number one, we get a lot of questions about how can you determine what package you have on the vehicle, right? Now, looking at the exterior on this car, you immediately think it's a sports package, right? Because you got these 21-inch wheels on there, and that definitely comes from the sports package. Once we get into the interior of the car, however, we can tell that we've got the aniline leather interior option, which comes on the touring package, okay? So if this wasn't indeed a sports package, you'd have the sports seats, and you'd have the Alcantara inserts that come in along the lines here, okay? Now, I've heard individuals talk plus and minuses for both of these packages, right? Touring package gives you a little bit less, bolstering, so you got potentially a more comfortable seat, where the sports package kind of holds you in a little bit, so you get, a little bit more of a sports feel from that particular package, as well as in the performance package. But we've got the Alcantara doors that's standard on all of the packages, right? I do love this interior color. Touring package and sports package mostly come with the glass top, so you got that right there as well. It's also got an Alcantara headliner, and then of course we get to something that's a tremendous opportunity for us, which is the mileage on this vehicle, right? Coming in under 10,000 miles at 9,742. Let's talk a little bit about the deets on this one, right? So we talked about a 2018, we talked about a touring package, 9,000 miles, right, coming in at $69,991. Well, number one, this is the lowest mileage opportunity, 2018 opportunity on the market, right, which obviously is driving the price up a little bit. The whole package on this one is, initially I thought this was a sports package, right, but this is a touring package, which again, guys, there's no bad package to get, but if we're talking value and we're trying to justify price points, if you guys haven't had an opportunity to take a look at my package video, please do, because I go into detail about all the value that each of the package adds, as well as how much value from the Lexus dealership is in each one of these packages. So the sports package is about a $5,000 value add. The performance package is a $10,000 value add. Now, what do we not get from the sports package on this one? Like we mentioned earlier, I'm not going to go back over that stuff, right? But the other things that are less visual is just that limited slip differential. To be very transparent, when I was driving a touring package, I didn't notice it as much. Now, I'll be honest with you. I was, I had the salesperson in the car with me, so I wasn't able to drive it like I drive mine. But I'd love to see what maybe some of you guys' responses are for individuals who've driven this car with the limited slip differential in a sports or performance package and without the limited slip differential in a touring package. Does it make enough difference, right, for us to really sit here and talk about it? Okay. All right, let's look at some of the other deets here. So 0 accidents, nice to see. 1 owner vehicle, also nice to see, especially since we're trying to justify, this $69,991 price point, right? Looking like it's a little bit above market value. So with that being said, I know a lot of individuals are looking for the exterior in infrared, the interior in toasted caramel, looking for low miles. I think this one's coming in, where are we at here? At Martin Chevrolet in Illinois. So I think the strategy on this one, while it's not the worst starting point, the strategy on this one is obviously price, right? I think we gotta absolutely get in under that $68,000, if that makes sense. Sorry for all the back and forth, guys. I think we gotta get, under 68.5, right? And that just seems reasonable. I think if we can get south of 68, even better. Okay. And I think if you're going to go in there, help them understand that this is a touring package. And I don't know if they're advertising as a sports package, but if they are, I think that's going to be a little bit of advantage for you, because you can talk about, hey, listen, there's a $5,000 incentive or value in the package that you guys posted online that's absolutely not present in this vehicle. Now, take all that aside, and I'm going to say that, listen, right, mano y mano here, I think you got some of the most important aspects of the sports package, right? If the interior is not a deal breaker, and by interior I just mean the Alcantara versus the Aniline, right? You got the 21-inch wheels, which I think is in some cases is a deal breaker, right? Most people, they absolutely want those iconic 21-inch wheels. You got that, and you also got the carbon fiber spoiler on the back end. Let me see if they actually put the carbon fiber on the front grille by some chance. You know what? Man, Holy Spirit always leading me right. Listen, guys, this one looks like it's got the carbon fiber OEM lip too. That's another $1,200, at $1,200 to $1,500 at least, because you got to take this whole bumper apart. You got to deassemble the grille just to get this piece in, because unlike the aftermarket carbon fiber inserts where you just lay it on top of it, this is actually replacement of the material piece that goes in. So guys, let's not talk heavily about this directly with the dealership, but again, mano a mano, right? Just family conversation. Guys, you've got $3,000 worth of OEM parts here, plus the 21-inch wheels on a touring package. Heck, this is, if you're going to get a touring package, this is the way to get it right here. Okay. All right. So definitely, if you're looking for an infrared, you're looking for a 2018 with the lowest miles on the market today, you want that toasted caramel interior, and you got 69,000, which I'm hoping you're going to be able to get south of 68 grand, then family, I definitely think this is one to consider. Okay. All right. Next up, guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, this car, I've been looking at it over the last few weeks and really, was waiting for the price to kind of get to a point to where I could get excited about this thing, right? And now it's there. So family, we've got a 2021 Lexus LC500 convertible. Obviously, this is the first year that the convertible was offered. This is also the first year that we see the circuit red interior to go with this ultra white exterior, right? So the Rioja red was the initial red color. It was a little bit more like a Merlot, kind of like a burgundy-ish color. I love it. Dark, deep, rich, right? What I like about this one, and you can see the Rioja red color right here and in the center stack right there, okay? What I like about this circuit red though is the brightness of it, the pop, right? It definitely adds a bit of a sports flair, especially to this combo, man. When you think about classics, right? I mean, I'm thinking about, 63 Corvette convertible sitting in that white with that all red interior. That's kind of the mind frame from a collectability and just a classic look that I get from this bad boy, right? We got the black soft top on this one. right? This one's got the 21-inch wheels, obviously, right? I think we got the carbon fiber insert on the door seal for this one. Yes, we do. We got the beautiful carpets in here, right, family? I mean, this one's coming in with 29,000 miles on it, which, you know, let's face it, guys. I mean, that's not the worst mileage for a 3-year-old vehicle, right? You know, in this community, that's probably considered a, you know, right there on the higher end of average. But, you know, and let's face it, I think it would make it even that much easier, right, if this thing was coming in from a Lexus dealership, because we'd have the certification. But this one is actually coming in from Land Rover of Clear Lake. So that's coming out of Texas, right? So let's talk about the deets on this one to kind of understand what we're looking at. 2021 convertible, lowest price convertible on the market, lowest price 2021 on the market, okay? Has 29,000 miles on it, so just shy of 30, right? When we look at the deets on this one, we got 1 accident reported. We've got 2 previous owners, okay? Not mad at the previous owners, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know enough about the accidents for us to really understand if this is the case, right? For those of you who are new to the channel, whenever we see accidents, right, couple red flags go up. Nothing that's a deal breaker, by the way. Let me repeat that. In my book, at least, nothing that's a deal breaker. But what does happen in my mind is I start to think about how do we mitigate any risks or any, you know, security issues that we're going to find because this thing has been in an accident. Okay, so 2 ways to do that. Let's call it 3. 3 ways to do that. Number 1, right, get the Carfax report so you can understand where the impacts took place, and you can get a real close inspection of what that looks like, okay? Number 2, take this to the Lexus dealership, all right? Partner with them for a couple $100. They're gonna do a full end-to-end inspection on this thing and let you know the good, the bad, the ugly. Number 3, right? You look at the vehicle and ask yourself, for the amount of money you're investing in this car compared to the comps, right? That's the important aspect of this, right? We got to compare this to the comps. Let's say that a 0 accident convertible in this same color package is sitting next to it for $75,000. Is $3,000 enough of a savings for you to, with the condition and everything you've learned from the Lexus report and the Carfax report, is $3,000 enough to justify that this bad boy has been in a little bit of a, you know, fender bender or whatnot? If it is, then let's face it, that's justification for you to move forward, right? And you've done your due diligence, so you're making an educated decision. If it's not, fam, then the point of that exercise is for you to be like, you know what, for $3,000, I'd just rather have peace of mind of knowing it's never been an accident, all right? Or at least not a reported accident, okay? All right, so guys, I think this is a very strong opportunity for someone who is looking to get in, you know. And again, I'm definitely doing some pricing on this one because, you know, we're looking at, just from Car Guru's algorithm, right, we're looking at a fair deal here. I think, you know, we need to try to get this bad boy into a good deal price range. So there's definitely should be some negotiations around price point, right? I mean, I'm loving anything shy of 70, right? Even if it's 69,999. And again, I'm saying that, but you still got to do your comps, okay? Still make sure that we don't have a $73,000 2021 option out there, you know, and then that might not make as much sense. But let's say that the other comp is like a $78,000 for this bad boy, and you get it at $70,000. That's an $8,000 difference, family. And that's the kind of way that I want us to think about pulling the trigger on purchases like this. At the end of the day, right, my heart of hearts is just making sure that we don't get a car that we're excited about the day of pickup or arrival, and then 30, 60, 90 days later, some of these other items that we could have become aware of start to creep up, and now we're feeling a certain way about our purchase, right? I want you to feel good about your purchase on the day of and for the entire duration of your ownership, okay? All right, so if you're looking for a 2021, you love that candy cane combo, right? 29,000 miles, and you got somewhere in the neighborhood of $72,000 to spend on your budget, family, absolutely check out this gorgeous opportunity. All right, and last but not least, family, gotta talk about this one. we've got the lowest price 2022 Lexus LC500 hardtop on the market. Family, this one's coming in the gorgeous atomic silver, right? We've got the, from the factory, mind you, blacked out 21-inch wheels, okay? All right, we've got the tint already. That's $500 to $1,000. Now, if you look closely too, family, we've got some additional aspects to this vehicle, okay? So you guys know that in the 2022, actually, that'd be interesting. But this looks really, really black. So, you know, I was about to say, you guys know that in the Inspiration series, Lexus blacks out a lot of this stuff. Now, I don't know if 2022, if you could, as a part of the bespoke plan, if you could black out this stuff, which you probably could. But I'm going to say this right now, right, so that we don't take it at face value. You'll have to investigate this when you go look at this car if it's something you're interested in. You see how the black pieces are back here, right? Everything's been blacked out. Now that is very much sought after aftermarket option. You see the same thing down here on the diffuser in that lower bumper, very much sought after option, right? Here's the question you're going to want to ask, okay, and investigate. Is that vinyl? Is that paint? Okay. Both are acceptable approaches to it, but I think both are going to, with the exception of the lower piece here. On the lower piece, you probably want to make sure that we're looking, we got not a vinyl, but we got a paint of some sort because of the heat that comes out of the exhaust, right? But up top here, you can absolutely do vinyl. That's very acceptable for that, and still very much a pricey option, right? Okay, now I'm leading towards this is aftermarket done, and here's why. As I look at the katana blades up here at the top, if this was truly a bespoke, I think that the katana blades would be the dark chrome instead of the shiny chrome. Let's see if we can't get, yeah, that's definitely the traditional shiny chrome. Excuse me, fam. And as you can see, even the Lexus, the LC500 has been blacked out here. So this was probably all done as a seamless package with a particular company. Let's see if the front looks like the same thing, fam, and maybe smoke turn signal right there. Okay, so take a look at those items, right? I talk a little bit in detail about this stuff because whenever something's been done aftermarket, you got to understand, right? There's going to be different experiences. There's going to be companies that'll do it tremendous, and there's going to be companies that don't kind of live up to your expectations. So if there's peeling and stuff like that, I want you to see it before you buy it and not when it's your first car wash, right? And you sitting up there babying it, and then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, that's peeling, that's vinyl. Now I got to go and spend extra grand to get this redone, right? Again, that's the only reason I go into some of the detail that I do about these aftermarket, you know, adjustments or conditions of the vehicle, because at the end of the day, I want you guys to be 100% happy with your purchase, right? Now, this one's also got circuit red interior. I'm loving that, right? We got amazing touring package. Now, here's the other thing. Black 21-inch wheels, touring package. So the touring package, this vehicle from the factory came with the 20-inch wheel option, unless this is a bespoke build and the person altered, or it's just a all-out build, right? Because you can take a touring package and purchase 21-inch wheels as an upgrade if you'd like to, right? But I'm calling that out, that more than likely this one's a touring package without the limited slip differential, if that's a, you know, deciding factor for you, right? But I love the, man, I just love how Lexus did their aniline leather option on this vehicle, right? You got all of this beautiful attention to detail, and I just love how it kind of looks like a bulletproof vest, right? Or like a robot or something sitting in the chair, with the way that that bolstering comes across the top there. Very intricate design there. I love that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the deets on this one, family, because tonight I'm going to do a little more research with you online so that you can understand not just my guidance and direction, right? But we can do it a little bit on this one, because I think this one's a pretty unique use case. And so I definitely want to do some additional due diligence with you tonight. So 2022, 10,000 miles, right? Coming in at $78,999, $7,752 below market. Now let's talk about why. Okay, So we've got 2 accidents reported on this vehicle. 1 previous owner, love that. Love the 1 previous owner. 2 additional accidents. That's something that we got to have a conversation about. And so let's get into it. So family, sometimes I'll tell you that, listen, Car Gurus does not have the Carfax here for you, right? They've got the auto check partnership. So listen, what I did is I just run out here to the dealer link, right? Here's the Lexus vehicle being offered. Here's the Carfax 1 owner right there. Drop into that guy, and that brings us over here. Okay, so let's do this, right? Let's look at this. So when we look at the accidents reported, right, I think it's important that when you come out here to the Carfax, you absolutely, instead of just seeing accident reported, minor damage, right, you want to come out here and validate that stuff. So with the Carfax report, right, not only do we get indication on where the accident occurred, but we also get some insights into the severity of the accident, right? So you see they've got 3 different tiers: minor, moderate, and severe. Now, there's criteria that's a part of each one of these. So for the minor, right, it's going to have airbag did not deploy on there. Now, if the airbag deployed, you're going to get immediately into moderate, and if I'm not mistaken, it's probably even severe. Okay, but you want to look at this information because, again, this is where you're going to want to both pay special attention to when you go out to look at the car, but when you take this bad boy over to the Lexus dealership, you're going to want to also have them, give them that awareness that the vehicle has been in an accident so that they can spend that extra amount of attention to ensure that everything was put back to Lexus standards. The other thing I'm going to do, because this particular vehicle looks like the entire passenger side, right? So we're talking 2 accidents here. One was a minor one up here with a side swipe. The other one was parked, right? Not really sure how that happened, but long story short, because we got one full side that almost, with the exception of the door, looks like it's had to be replaced, you want to make sure that the paint's been blended correctly. And so when you take this to the Lexus dealership, please ask them, if they don't already as a part of their standard inspection, please ask them to use the paint reader and make sure that the paint reader was OEM paint and that it was painted with the right amount of layers and the right amount of clear coat, all that good stuff. Okay. All right. And then I want you too to step back and make sure that, this vehicle was blended correctly so that you don't see one color on the front fender, the back fender, and then the door is a different color. Okay. All right. So sorry, I talked a lot about that, right? But here's the rest of the Carfax, right? Make sure you're looking at the entire Carfax, right? Look at the information on the vehicle. It's going to give you a lot of details on the services that's been done. It's going to talk about specifics around the damage that's happened on the vehicle, right? So that this gives you a much better insight on exactly the vehicle that you're looking to purchase, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't think an accident automatically rules out a vehicle, right? But what I do think it does is it forces us to really do a little bit more research and due diligence to ensure that whatever we're purchasing, we're fully aware of it and it's the exact purchase that we want to make, especially when you're dropping $78,999, which, even though this is showing a great deal, family, don't be hesitant to negotiate further with this dealership, okay? Because at the end of the day, the most you can get off this, the better. Fam, that is our episode for the week. I will have all the details of what we discussed tonight in the comments. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Godspeed.